ABC's John Carl challenged J.D. Vance on this very issue at the White House, and listen to this lackey.
Eligible to apply for this fund. I mean, you're eligible, but I assume you're not going to apply, and you don't think you should get money out of this fund. So isn't it just as easy to say that people that attacked police officers should not get taxpayer money from this fund?
You don't even want to believe what J.D. Vance said. He went and did all this hemming and hawing only to say yes. And what Trump has done is something the federal government has done for a lot of groups. They did it for the Asians. They did it for Europeans. Whenever an atrocity has taken place to a group of people by our government, we've given people reparations, except for the group that built this country and gave the country the head start that it has now in capitalism, Black people. Shout out to Big Brother Roe. In this video, folks, we're going to do what we always do on this channel. Take these preset myths that has been run in society, put in place by mighty whitey, rich white entitled dudes for years, and break it down to how most of the time when they tell you that they believe in the things that their forefathers said about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that all men are created equal. We're going to show you just how much they lied about that shit and how they want us to turn our heads while they basically become robber barons. All that, so much more. We get kicked off right now.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that full. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You're in the building with the all-knowing, all-loving, all-feeling, all DEI, all woke, all loving of the LGBTQ plus community. Just damn all everything. Sexy as hell host of this channel, Lamont Tyson, bringing you predetermined political topics that help shape the narrative I want you guys to see. How all these societal norms have been lies to help the 1% and the rich white guys. And we go through political examples of how they're outside the norm, but now are accepted by white people because they're telling you how they feel. First story we're going to go to today, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a bunch, but I've got a feel-good story we're going to do today too, about a brother who got out of jail and just the awakening, the welcome he got. It's just going to melt your heart. So we're going to save that for the end. But first, let's continue with this January the 6th crap, getting reparations for actually committing crimes, pooping on desks, breaking glasses, harming police. Take a look at this.
This guy, and this guy, and this guy are going to potentially get payouts from the federal government for assaulting these police officers. So much for backing the blue. Taxpayer dollars should not support those people that attack these officers. This is not justice. It is a profound abuse of public funds. Right now, Americans are struggling with high prices and economic uncertainty. Federal dollars should be used to lower costs and serve the American people, and not create a slush fund for the president's political allies or to reward those who assaulted law enforcement. My amendment is straightforward. It prohibits the federal government from using taxpayer dollars to pay out settlements for lawsuits brought by the president or his immediate family or allies. It also prohibits creating a fund to provide payments to the president, his family, or the traitors who attacked the Capitol.
I've been advised by the Budget Committee that this amendment does not comply with the rules. Therefore, I move to table.
Objection.
Clerk will call the roll.
On this vote, the yeas are 8, the nays are 7, and the motion is agreed to.
Why are they taking this seriously? Why is there not more mighty whitey rich people who you would normally hear running around talking about the deficit is exploding, we can't afford this, we can't afford that? Why are those same people who normally run their mouth when Democrats are in office not running their fucking mouths now? Anytime the idea of reparation for Black people come up, have y'all seen the hemming and hawing that white folks do? You would think they on hee-haw. The type of stuff they be saying. We can't afford it. It's impossible. Hell, we went to the moon, even though a lot of Republicans don't want you to believe that, because the dumber they keep their voting base, the more they can control them and subjugate them. We went to the moon, but we can't figure out a way to give descendants of slaves the people who built this country. We can't figure out a way to pay them. There are so many places where Black people who was disenfranchised went to, created great communities, and then the federal government came and took it away. They can't get nothing, but we about to give. I can't help but show this picture every time we talk about these January 6th folks. They like to call us monkeys. Look at these fucking spider monkeys, y'all, hanging off the side of the Capitol. You rich white dudes who always talk about budgets, why are you not louder when you see these buffoons hanging off the side of the Capitol about to get paid? The My Pillow guy, the one who looks like Paul Bearer, the Undertaker's former manager, he talking about he about to file a claim. Folks, all this is a way for Donald Trump to dog whistle. Well, hell, it's not even a dog whistle. He megaphoning it to do this same behavior at the next coming elections. And I will take care of you. Or my acolytes will take care of you. It is atrocious. Democrats, when you get power, you need to go ahead, fuck what they say, get descendants of slaves reparations. And reparations can mean college education is free for all Black people, minorities, those that have descendants of slaves. We don't pay no more taxes. That would be the best one we all want. You know, something like that. But to reward criminal behavior, to send the message that criminal behavior is okay. These people rioted the Capitol. And I don't understand why more people who claim to be patriots are upset about this. I know why, because they don't care. As long as you're not taking more money out of their taxes, they will deal with the racism. They will deal with how ugly this looks. They will deal with these toothless fucks that they would never be caught hanging around in their country clubs because they don't really care for them no more than them giving the vote, the power to them. Because at the end of the day, folks, this has always been about the top 1% people having control and the money versus everybody else. And race is a construct that they know keeps these dumb folks happy. If these people were slightly more educated, they would never vote Republican, but they continue to do it. And this is Trump trying to reinforce the behavior. So folks, let me know what you think. Frustrates me every day to see this type of buffoonery, and hopefully we can do something to stop it very, very soon. Moving right along, folks. I don't know if you know, but progressive voices on social media, because a lot of Trump's acolytes have been taking over social media, hence Larry and David Ellison trying to buy Warner Brothers with Paramount. Hence, Larry Ellison himself now has a controlling stake in TikTok. A lot of places, progressive voices are getting stifled on social media. And we're the ones telling the truth. They're getting stifled because they're getting kickbacks from Trump. They're getting kickbacks from the right wing. Back in the day, to be a racist didn't pay you. It almost jailed you. Nowadays, it pays to be a racist. And so if you don't want to take my voice for saying that they're throttling us, progressive voices telling the truth, take a look at a YouTuber who has like 2-3 million subscribers. Listen to what he's saying. His name is David Pakman. If you don't follow him, he's a great follow. Take a look at what he's saying.
Hey guys, if you're seeing this video right now, I need your help. We seem to be shadow banned on several platforms right now. On Instagram and Facebook, views have collapsed. TikTok's been a mess for months. Only 1 or 2 videos a day are even breaking into the algorithm. And in fact, I'm hearing from hundreds of people who are saying, I haven't seen your videos in weeks or months, even though they follow the page and even though we're publishing the videos. So if you are catching this video in your feed, if you wouldn't mind engaging with it, signal boosting so that we can maybe get back in the algorithm. It could mean just liking, commenting, sharing, or following us on the platform where you are seeing this. We got to try something to get the algorithm back and putting us in the good graces. Again, as an independent show, we cover a lot of topics that are both important and often ignored by mainstream media. We want to reach as many people as possible. And if you haven't already, please pop over to our YouTube, hit subscribe, help us get to those 4 million subscribers over there. Let's see if a post like this can help turn around what's happening in the algorithms.
So not only do you need to do that, ladies and gentlemen, you also need to turn on notifications. They've also got it now on YouTube where you can hit a hype button. I highly recommend you hype my video, you hype his video, any hype DL Hughley, hype those brothers that I did my volume 1 mixtape on about the best black male progressives. Soon I'll be doing a mixtape on the best female progressives. Then I'll do a mixtape on the best white male, the best white females, and so forth and so forth. Hype us up. We tend to fact check way more than the Republicans do because they know they can pull the wool over the eyes of their voting base. And we can't do that here as Democratic voters. And so we encourage you to turn on your notifications, follow all of us. I've noticed one thing about progressives, we tend to help each other. Whereas in the Republican side, if you can't help them make money, they don't want you on their show. They're not fucking with you. But here, we try to help everybody. And if you're someone that has a little bit of a social media and progressive politics, you want to get on with me, let me know, and I'll try to help you out. But please turn on those notifications so that we can be heard and we can rock this vote coming up in the midterms. Next, ladies and gentlemen, let me spend some time with some racists. Boy, those good old racists. I think the thing that bothers me with racist people is how can you sit here and swear that you love the Lord Jesus Christ, but you're a racist? How do you claim to love the founding fathers, but you're a racist? The founding fathers quoted, you know, all men are created equal, blah, blah, blah. But I guess back in those days, black people, we weren't full men. We was 3/4 of a man. Now, how does that look? How do you look another organism in his face? He talks, he walks, he has teeth. He's got everything you got. The only difference is his skin is a different color. And you think he's 3/4 of a fucking man. So you basically saying maybe he don't got the brain power is what you're trying to say, right? But we've got a racist dude who tried to attack DL Hughley, talked about DL Hughley's hat. And what have I told y'all? I got jokes, but there are a few people that I would never want to get into a roasting match with. And DL Hughley is one of them because he's very creative. He's very articulate. He's versed. He's lived a long life. So he's got jokes about everything. Hell, this dude probably got jokes about Adam and Eve that'll make you sleeve and bleed. So somebody tried to attack him dealing with that roast that they had the other day. We're going to see his video. Then we're going to see a racist who decided to go to a public hearing in San Diego, ruin the spot in front of kids, and then we'll discuss both issues. Take a look.
Started watching black guys in fucking Django hats fucking tell me how the world works now.
I know that dude about as much as he knows salads. I don't know who he is. I think somebody put up a picture. I guess his name was on it, and he was responding.
I want to apologize for the picture because, like, technically I told my editor to put in 3 photos of famous racist people from the roast.
Because he's not a famous racist.
No.
I saw this lineup and I thought to myself, the world's going behind him. He's got to let you know what he feels about the earth. I don't dislike you now, DL, because you're black. It's because you're black and dumb.
Look here, don't tell me I'm dumb when your diet lets me know you make shitty choices. Don't tell me that. The only reason he wears a nail polish so it looks like a girl is touching his dick. That's what, are you crazy? Don't talk about where I put my dick when you can't see yours. My 40-year comedy career will last longer than your heart.
I see these white boys up there. Get the fuck out of here, these white boys.
It is kind of
Also, like, he's such a hack. Like,
he is a hack.
You look at that riff he did, he's just like a lesser Kurt Metzger. He doesn't even have his own voice.
I don't like how fast white dudes get to whiten.
Like, first, when you made the joke in the clip, like, all these racist white guys want to do with freedom of speech is say the N-word.
Right.
You see him slow motion going like this, like, I know what I've done my whole life.
Right.
Secondly, he brought up you talking about Farrakhan on the show.
I've never once mentioned Louis Farrakhan at all.
Yeah.
So he's fat and a liar, just like he lies on his diet plan.
One of his only quote-unquote decent jokes, you know, was talking about your hat, right? But the kicker is you didn't even wear that hat in the episode where the clip is happening.
Here's a true thing. That is a Nick Fouquet hat, right?
Yeah.
I could trade that hat in and it'd be bigger than any payday he ever got. Take my name out your mouth and you'll have more room for snacks, fat ass.
Man, if you're going to come for the king, don't miss. Don't forget, folks, D.L. Hughley is a king of comedy. Now, what I got to say about this dude, maybe he's trying to make a name for himself going after D.L. Hughley, but if you are, you've got to have some jokes. You've got to have roasting ability. He said it wasn't about being black. And then, folks, what was the next thing he said out of his mouth? He's black and dumb. So it is about being black. If it was about him just being dumb, you would have said it's about him being dumb. He said it's about him being black and dumb. You can't make this stuff up with these people, ladies and gentlemen. You just can't. And the same dude who claimed he's not a racist follows Chud the Builder. Chud the Builder, who had the Rick Rude mustache that's in jail right now, and by the time they threw his ass in jail, that mustache is going to be curling up like the one on Super Mario Brothers. It's going to be twirling up like this and shit. It ain't going to be the same because they probably going to be building a haystack in his butthole by the time they done with him, but I digress. Dude, just admit you're racist. Stop trying to do this lowball effort of I'm not a racist. It's not about him being black. It's about him being black and dumb. Nobody is more dumb than people like you and Trump followers. Nobody. There hasn't been a group of more dumb people, hell, probably since those fuckers went, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony went to Africa, found Cleopatra, and went to fight over her. That's when they got dumb. There hasn't been any more dumber people since then. And to attack that level of comedian, if you're smart, you did it because you want clout. But if you're dumb, you did it because you actually thought that your argument was going to win out over D.L. Hughley. Dude, don't come for the kings of comedy. It's not going to work. And that's not the only act of illicit racism that we got this week, folks, because the Trump administration is showing you they reward bad behavior. Bad behavior, racism gets rewarded under the Trump administration. We've seen it from this January 6th, $1.7 billion. Do y'all remember that bitch that was saying racist things about the special needs boy who was married to a black guy? And people always think that because you have close proximity to black people, you're not racist. Tell that to the slaves who were owned by slave owners that was white. Okay, just stop that. That shows you the stupidity and dumbness of MAGA. But we have a racist dude go into this hearing. These mosques got shot up in San Diego. I want y'all to hear the type of stuff this buffoon is saying. Look at how he's dressed. Just another one of these societal tropes. Take a look at this.
What are you guys doing here? Inviting the enemy to eat at the table with you. And you saw the children that were brought up on this stage. Not one of them is a heritage American. Your replacement is here, Americans, and it is coming faster and faster.
So your biggest threat right now is an 8-year-old? That's why you gotta wear the big man vest to a local city council meeting? Okay. Jake Lang, the guy cosplaying as G.I. Joe here, is a pardoned January 6th rioter who was accused of assaulting police officers, among other charges. He spoke at the Frisco City Council meeting to push the Great Replacement theory and ended up saying council members should be strung up and threatening to burn down mosques. While he wants to look tough here, remember, he's the same guy who got run out of a protest because he was attacked by silly string. You can't make this shit up. And knowing that while watching this performance says everything. The boys screaming racist shit the loudest are often the most insecure. Lang and other white supremacists tout the Great Replacement theory. It's the racist belief that liberal elites are trying to replace white people with people of color. White supremacists like Lang have used it to try to justify their own violent behavior, despite it being repeatedly denounced as propaganda. It also makes no sense, because history, just saying. But that right there is what MAGA has tricked boys to think is masculinity. It's not. Kicking down ice isn't strength, it's a temper tantrum. Real masculinity is not having to make up a fake enemy to feel like a big man. It's not about looking for excuses to be violent like a playground bully who can't handle his emotions. And while we all debate the male loneliness epidemic, you gotta ask, who benefits from it?
What do we say on this channel? It takes 6 of those type of white dudes to think that they have the gumption to fight 1.5 black dudes. You see this? He went in there to a hearing that was dealing with kids, and we just had a mosque shot up in that area, folks. And he went in there to tell them that they are not heritage Americans. How many of y'all can raise your hand and say you got news for his dumb ass? There is no such thing as heritage American that comes from Europe. The heritage to this country are the natives, you dumbass. That's number one. And they look more like natives than your punk ass did. Looking like you sat down at the number 7, get a haircut at Supercuts. Fuck, just make me sick. Then you got to come in there with a vest on. Why do you wear all that stuff if you're so tough and masculine? I'll tell you why, because you're not. You're a puss ball. You found in the P Valley Club. That's where you found that. And one wouldn't be surprised if we was to open your legs and you bleed 7 days a week out of a month. Wouldn't be surprised. To actually think that you was going to go in there and make a name for yourself, folks, that was performative. This guy's not tough. He's just like Chuck the Builder. If you don't have an advantage, you're not going to do anything. And what exactly are racists doing, ladies and gentlemen? They're fighting for an advantage. All that shit that the founding fathers said about all men created equal, they don't believe that. Because if they did, they wouldn't be trying to be racist to have an advantage over some other human being. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You're telling people that all men are created equal and you believe in the Bible and Jesus and all that shit, but you're fighting so that you can be the higher race, so that you get selectivity over goods and services. That's called a pussball move. That's called you do not wake up out of your bed every day thinking that you are equal. You need an advantage. White privilege is what it is. Post your comments, y'all. Let me know what you think. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, you just can't. Last thing we're going to end on today is a good note, folks. We had a brother come home from jail. DL Hewley had signal boosted his video. I've signal boosted, and now I'm going to give this man a full segment. Take a look at this. When you need a feel-good story, every now and then you do. This is a good one.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. Welcome home, my nigga. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. That's what people at home right there. Yeah. Come on, yeah. Hold on. Yeah, that's the dumps right there. That's what everybody wearing. Look where they send my nigga home, man. Yeah, man, look what they got me in, man. Hey, you got anything to say to the people? Man, I'm back.
Shout out to that brother, folks. It's always good to end on a Friday on a good note. If you celebrate Memorial Day, happy Memorial Day. Always remember we're fighting the best we can so that life and liberty, pursuit of happiness and justice is on an equal playing field and nobody's fucking privileged to get there more than the other people. Shout out to my new member, R.E. Gordon, 1955. We're so happy to have you here. And please come check me out next week. I'll be posting shorts again over the weekend. I leave a link to everybody's short that I post in the video description. All you have to do is click below the video if you want to go and support those individuals. Be safe, have fun. Remember what we're going through, folks. If we want to get democracy back, we've got to fight through this tyranny. And the biggest fight is not with the politicians, it's with the people who have either given up or have decided that racism, elitism, communism, and most importantly, oligarchy is what they want to live their life by, because instead of critical thinking, they want to just be told what to do by the people who have the might and the power. Till that next Sex is Hell video, I'm out.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.